David, the Culture Corner. You mentioned something about the GOAT himself.
The GOAT.
Mr. Cristiano Ronaldo.
The real Ronaldo.
David, why are we talking about him?
Because he's awesome. No, because he met with another fucking Neanderthal, like basic thinker, knuckle dragger, just wants to see the world burn. Jordan Peterson. And apparently we don't know what the fuck they said. Did you see an interview? Did you see anything with them going over what they were talking about or anything?
No. So the only thing I saw on social media, and then which this obviously made the rounds, is Ronaldo posted a picture of himself with Jordan Peterson. And the caption he wrote on it was something to the effect of, "Nice to meet with my friend." Or he used endearing terms. And obviously they're taking a picture together. They're friendly. Whatever they talked about doesn't matter. But Cristiano was not ashamed to link his image and likeness, as globally popular as that is, with that of Jordan Peterson. And for that, dear friends and family, he is Hitler adjacent, apparently.
Okay. So the guy that all he does is try to help you clean your room, get your life in order. All I've ever heard him try to do is make other people's lives better by giving them the hard, cold facts. And nowadays it's not nice. But apparently he's spoken out against a lot of wokeness, which is how he got known in the beginning, is that he had an interview with a feminist and just eviscerated all of her standpoints to the point of no return. And that's where the left started to dislike him. And since then, he's only doubled down and tripled down on his standpoint, all the while not sounding like a lunatic, not going over the bounds, not stepping over anything. But he said, just to the point, you can't control my speech. I will basically, Canada passed a referendum saying you have to call people by their pronouns that they choose. And he said, that's not freedom then. You're controlling my language and I won't do it. If I respect the person, I will, and I want them to not even long. If I respect the person, if I want to, I will respect their wishes if they ask me to do it. But you cannot tell me as a government what I can and cannot say and what is legal and not legal that comes out of my mouth. That's his standpoint. And that's the real reason they have a problem with him.
Right. To close the loop on his profession, he is a clinical psychologist, author, and professor emeritus at University of Toronto. But yes, no, David is absolutely right that it's not necessarily what Jordan Peterson has said. It is what he has refused to say that makes him pretty much the worst person on earth. To a lot of people, it's definitely to the people who would cancel Cristiano Ronaldo simply for associating himself with Jordan in so much as a simple photograph and calling him his friend. And really, I mean, need we say more about the depths of depravity that this whole cultural momentum has gone in this particular direction? That you can completely hate somebody for refusing to mindlessly regurgitate whatever is the popular or approved talking point of the day, but then you can also extend that out to anybody who chooses to voluntarily put themselves in that person's orbit.
If only we held those people accountable for what they had done while they were doing it.
If only, you happen to have upwards of 30 at our last count, people that were known to you or in your close circle that had disappeared or died under less than clear circumstances. If you were those type of people, maybe a sane world might, quote unquote, cancel you. But no, this world chooses to cancel you if you refuse to call somebody, by a completely ridiculous pronoun that has no basis in reality or anything like that. I would say that the world or the society that does these things while choosing not to do these things to those other people that David and I are alluding to is not a healthy society. And we are definitely in that cycle of good times creating weak men. And we're in the latter part of that weak men cycle because...
or maybe if somebody broke a law...
It's getting ugly out there.
A federal law, and funded a research that was federally restricted. And then that research just so happened to sneak out of whatever research laboratory it was in and maybe cause the whole world to go into lockdown for 2 years, under your auspices, by the way. Because you're the leading, how is he the leading knowledge person in this? Because he knows the most, because he was directly involved in it. If we held those people accountable a little bit more often, maybe we'd be a little more genuine with our cancellations rather than just taking a picture with somebody that says things that we don't like to hear.
Or maybe the son of a former vice president and current president who not only sold access to his father while his father was vice president, but also is on film many times doing illicit drugs that his father spent a career throwing people in cages for, sometimes with underage prostitutes. Oh, and lying on federal applications to get a firearm because he's a felon. You know, maybe if society chose to live by some of those ancient, wise, just kind of measuring sticks, right? To whom much is given, much is expected. You know, if we held those who had so much power to
higher standard,
actually exercise it responsibly, exactly, to a higher standard, might we not end up with the current clusterfuck of a world that we currently live in? Maybe, but you know what? We only have so many resources, as we say on this podcast all the time. Resources are scarce, and they definitely need to be overweight in favor of canceling people for refusing to say certain things. That's who we should focus on canceling. But, David and I could go on and on all day about these individuals who shall, or maybe they are not, remaining nameless, depending on your...
We didn't use any words, right?
I don't think we said a single person's name, but I don't think we did either. I think it's crystal clear.
Except for Epstein, but his name's on the... Of course. It's on the goddamn...
He's in every show.
Yeah, that guy.
So suffice it to say, David and I, we do not approve, okay? We cancel the people who cancel Cristiano Ronaldo for having the audacity to take a picture with Jordan Peterson.
And
you're canceled.